friends, welcome to the pod. I'm Annie, and I'm so excited to be back to be recording another podcast for you all. If you haven't heard of my previous podcast, you can find it on Spotify. It's called Echo Timeout. Go listen and also let me know your thoughts. Subscribe over there. This is there to create a podcast about creativity, photography, business, personal branding, marketing, just mainly centered around creativity and really building something that is unique to you. We are here on building our creative community, and we'd love for you to join. As a female entrepreneur, it's crucial to stand up for yourself when building your business. So join me in conversations with my guests as we discuss the struggles they faced and how they overcame them in their journey. Let's learn from each other and inspire one another to keep pushing forward. As a brand photographer, I understand the satisfaction of creating something you're proud of. However, the road to success is not always easy. I had to learn how to stand on my own 2 feet, even when I fell. Let's empower each other to keep striving towards our goals and overcome any obstacles that come our way. Please don't forget to subscribe to the pod on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere else you get your podcast from. I think the pod is also on YouTube. So go over there and subscribe and comment and like and all of that. Also, don't forget to rate this podcast. Let us know your thoughts. And let's build something that is uniquely ours. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. I'll see you in the episode.
Yes, same. I'm missing to talking to other founders, and it's always great to meet new people like yourself.
Yeah, no, it's really great. I think I was just there on Monday, meeting up with my mentor. They gave me a new mentor for the test trading because I'm starting on January.
And so you had in-person meeting with the mentor?
Yeah, and I had to go all the way
lucky.
there.
But it's nice.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
having
it was
Zoom
really
calls.
great.
I feel like Zoom calls, I mean, they are okay, but at the same time, business is about getting out there and having the courage to talk to people in person. So having Zoom calls for mentoring is not always suitable. You need to go out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, as much as I prefer Zoom call,
Really.
but it was fun. Like, she gave me a lot of stuff to think about. Yeah. So we're just gonna get started. Do you have the questions up?
I do have the questions, yes, and I did draft some answers because I knew I will be nervous during the call. It's actually probably the first time I'm doing something like this.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be kind of like semi-reading my answers, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Like, I like how prepared you are. So we're just gonna start. For those, because this is a brand new podcast compared to my last one, and I wanted this one to be more centered around creativity, brand building, brand owners, personal branding, business, marketing. So the floor is yours. Can you introduce yourself to the listeners, please?
Sure. Just a moment. I'm fixing the
Okay.
Wi-Fi connection. Okay. Because the Wi-Fi is not very strong where I am. So anyway, back to self-introduction. Hi, my name is Kate. I'm a 30-year-old living in London, and I'm the founder of a gemstone jewelry brand, Petite Saline.
Yeah. When I first saw your Instagram, because you told me you made jewelry, and I was like, that's interesting. How would somebody make a jewelry? Like, does she have a studio? Does she does it at home? So, um, if you could tell me a little bit more about your business and the brand.
Yes. Yep. Sure. So I've started my own business in April 2023. Before becoming an entrepreneur, I had a successful career and worked for 2 public companies in the City of London and the West End. After becoming a mother to a beautiful girl, I took some time off. And when I was ready to get back to work, the pandemic had started. Our lives were reversed, and I found myself spending more time in the nature. It did wonders for me and helped me to reconnect with my instincts and my roots. So I've always been quite creative, and having studied at an art school, I thought I should try myself in a less rigid role and, do something from my heart. So when it came to starting my own jewelry business, I sourced my inspiration from the Caribbean island of St. Bart's, where the sun is always shining.
I love that.
Yep. It's one of my favorite places. And I wish it was a little bit closer to us.
Yeah.
In fact, the island has an exceptional record of having no more than 5 days per year without a sun. So being a Londoner, it's literally the opposite.
Yeah.
So since I had visited St. Bart's, I have always had that vivid picture in my head of the turquoise waters, ivory seashells, leafy bushes, and gold sands. It was also the place where I saw the hummingbirds for the first time. So I gathered that people in London or other cities perhaps wouldn't mind having some more things that bring them joy and happiness or remind them of their favorite holiday. My jewelry combines that free-spirited energy with timelessness, and I hope to always bring out the best of it to my customers.
Oh, I love that. Like, I can see that you have so much passion behind it.
I do, absolutely.
And it's just like incredible to me. Like, I love hearing how other people come to terms with their creativity or end up creating something that they really love. I want to know, like, where did you get your materials from for the jewelry making? So like the crystals and stuff.
So I've been going through a very lengthy process of establishing those supply chains. And I'm constantly reviewing the quality and the variety of the stock. So our packaging, for example, is made in the UK using recyclable materials. But the nature of the gemstones is such that they come from all over the world. And it all comes down to the ethical side of the business. So many of our stones are drilled, cut, and shaped in India. And I love to have occasional calls with my supplier there to not only check the quality of the stones, but also to be sure that the employees are treated fairly and their rights are respected.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, what drew you to like using crystals for your jewelry? Because I don't think I've seen that many jewelry that use, crystals. And I was on your website and I was looking at the different jewelry that you've made on the site, and they look incredible. Like,
Thank you so much. I mean, the gemstones come in all sorts of colors and varieties, and I feel like almost every person that I come across would be able to find the stone that they like, you know, and that's what I love actually about this business, that together with my clients we search and we always find something that they will like. So kind of what drew me to the stones, well, there was a part of my childhood when I was seriously into making colorful beaded bracelets. And then living in London, I felt that playful, eye-catching designs were not enough represented on the market. So you either have fine jewelry or something made of plastic or resin. I started to learn more about the healing side of the minerals and crystals during the pandemic, which formed a solid foundation to my jewelry brand. I always strive to know the origin of the stones when purchasing them. And I always use conflict-free locations for sourcing, even though it often means I have to pay a higher price.
okay, so like, what is the process like of like making the jewelry?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you make it at home? Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I've started making one-of-a-kind pieces for my close friends and family. There are some clients of mine amongst my neighbors or the moms at my daughter's school.
Yeah, those are like the best places to go.
You know, yeah, absolutely. And clients often take the lead and tell me exactly what they want. And when we source the gemstones for that piece that they would like to get, I usually have a one-to-one appointment with the customer where we try on the piece and see which alterations need to be made. So these typically include finding the most flattering length for the necklace or adding extra stones, selecting the type of metal for the clasp, and so on. For those who haven't been accustomed to gemstone jewelry, I invite to my home studio and show the currently available strands. It's often that the client thinks they want one thing, and they end up leaving with a completely different thing. But, you know, people are always drawn to something that kind of helps bring out the best out of them, their confidence, feeling beautiful and unique.
Oh, that's really cool. I had a question in mind while you were talking, and it just slipped my mind.
Oh no!
Oh yes. I was just wondering, are there like custom? Do you do like custom jewelry as well? So it's like a order type of order stuff. So like the customer will pre-order, and then you would make it according to how they use, according how they like it, and then you'll send it to them.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, customers reach out with special requests most of the times, and they would go for, say, a birthstone piece. And often this would be a birthstone bracelet, which is my kind of top selling item. And it can be a birthstone for a woman who has 2 or 3 children. And the clients would say, I need to integrate 3 different birthstones in one piece. So my most kind of latest order has emerald, citrine, and blue topaz in one piece. And it's been quite challenging to integrate it so it all looks, you know, chic and beautiful, because some stones, they have different transparency and different properties and different qualities. So for me, it's really important that the bracelet overall gives that wow effect and that beautiful kind of, it's made in a long-lasting good quality way. So I often open my sketchbook and I take colorful pencils from my daughter's desk, and I would just draft these color patches in a bracelet shape that helps me to work out a colorful piece in the most organic, beautiful way.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I often send that sketch to the client, and 50% of the time I have to go back to my sketch and redo it, because often clients' vision can be slightly different, and it's important for me to deliver a unique, one-of-a-kind piece that they really want, because that's something I'm capable of, and that's a service that is quite unique these days to offer in London.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a custom piece that you had, but you had this like necklace that was made out of black stones.
Like dark gray labradorite?
Yeah, that was absolutely one of my favorites.
Really? Wow, that is a piece I worked on for so long. So that lady, she came to my place, and at that moment I was working on a completely different piece, and then she pulls out this strand of labradorite and says, wow, what's this? I love it. I want to have a necklace.
Such a beautiful color.
Yes, we we had about 3 one-to-one appointments with her. I had to redo it a bit. I had to add more pinkish pieces because she wanted that ombre effect. But when it was ready, I could see her face was just radiating with joy. And I felt like it was definitely worth all the time.
Rightly so. It was absolutely beautiful piece. Like, how long does it take you to make like one piece? You said like 3 days, because you kind of just answered a little bit of that.
Yeah. Well, again, it depends on the piece. So a stretch cord bracelet can take a couple of hours, whereas a knotted necklace might take a few days. So that gray labradorite necklace that you liked, that took actually nearly 3 weeks.
Wow.
And it's because we had those appointments where we would try on the piece, and my client, she's a busy full-time working mom, so I had to, I would prepare a certain design and then wait maybe day 2 or 3 till she comes and has a look or tries it on. But we didn't rush. Some clients actually enjoy that slow process because they find it more, I would say, special. And as long as I have time for these bespoke pieces, I'm also enjoying doing that with my clients.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because you're also trying to get the piece right to their liking as well. Whereas if you're rushing, maybe a bead could be off, or the chain is not done properly, or they might not like the certain colors. So I love that for you, like the fact that there's no rush to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like, we spoke about crystals and their healing energy, and probably pieces that are done more slowly, intentionally, will also preserve their healing properties or the good vibrations.
Yeah, I've seen that you had on your website, you also did have like the crystals and the healing abouts and for each crystal.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people, well, not a lot, but I would say 50% of my clients, they choose the crystals based on their properties, and sometimes they seek healing, whereas on other occasions they might seek some other energies like ability to write. So a friend of mine who's now also a client, she started writing her book and she found it challenging. So she reached out and said she read somewhere that Angelite promotes this kind of wise, properties, and she would like to have an Angelite bracelet when she's writing her book. So that was one of the bespoke orders I've done this year.
Oh, this is so lovely. I mean, at some point I was into crystals, and I still find them beautiful, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm like, okay, maybe go get one, just like a cord or something.
Yes, yeah.
And I tend to like keep forgetting it. But it does make sense because like when you see it reflecting off a light or something, or the sun, like it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. And beads, there is one kind of thing, it's the beads, but then you also have minerals and rocks. And I recently visited a gemstone show where unexpectedly I meet this very nice Indian family, and I think they were grandparents because they had the child with them, my daughter's age, but they would be like too old to be the parents. So I understood these are the grandparents, and they brought their granddaughter to the jewelry show, and they had boxes with various rocks and minerals that they were not the most highly priced minerals out there, but I could pull out a few rocks that I just love the energy, and they were so raw and they were untreated. You could see little crystals in there, and I brought them home. I bought loads of them, and I thought, they're just nice family. They're nice people to work with. We exchange the details, and actually jewelry shows are really good places to source materials for those who are just getting started.
Yeah. And I think that was an advice that I recently got. It was like, go out there, go to like different photography shows and trade shows to meet other clients, to meet other photographers and clients, so that way you would have that connection. And honestly, I was like, okay, let me go find. I went on Google, found a couple that I signed up for next year. So I'm excited. We're gonna get to my favorite section, which is brand. Because as I was I think last time we've seen each other, I was doing like brands and weddings. Now I'm just doing brands because it feels right. It takes me back to my roots. And it just makes sense. So I really want to know how you do your brand awareness.
So the brand is very new, and I've been mostly focusing on the area where I'm based, which is Kensington and Chelsea. Some of my most devoted clients had suggested having a trunk show in past, which I think can be an excellent event. So far, I haven't spent a penny on marketing. However, that should probably change soon. And I think for now, I'm mostly using Instagram for my brand awareness when it comes to any digital marketing. But I'm quite careful with getting anything, like any paid ads. I feel like these might be, if they're done smartly, they will definitely be a benefit to your business. But if they're done in a very ordinary way, they might be quite annoying. Because these days, whenever you open your Instagram or Facebook, you just have constant, every third post is an ad. And I wouldn't like to be one of those ads, if you know what I mean. So it's a delicate question, which I don't know how to where to start.
I think the marketing side of it is something that I'm also struggling with.
Mm,
Um, you mentioned a trunk show. What is that?
yeah. A trunk show is when a business rents or finds a little venue where
Mm.
they can exhibit their product on the day and
Okay.
invite customers or prospective customers. So, they would meet the founder and the founder would talk about the business or show their bracelets, their jewelry. And at these events, you usually make sales as well.
Okay. So
So,
it's like having like a store somewhere type of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
The
actually pretty cool. Yeah.
It's kind of like, if you're a photographer, you have a gallery, and if you're a jeweler, but you don't have a store, you rent that kind of store-like venue
Yeah.
for a day. But this can be also a private room in a hotel, a restaurant, or there are some properties that are available
Mm.
for rent for a day.
So like a pop-up type of
Yeah,
shop.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A pop-up. And I think these are nice events. They're often attended by the woman. So it's quite fun actually.
Okay. Um, Before I ask you the last two questions, there's a question that popped into my head yesterday, after I sent you the question list.
Yeah.
But um, like what advice would you give to someone that is starting out in their own brand or business?
Mm. Oh, I feel like I'm not in a position to advise anyone because I'm just still learning, but I will
Mm.
try. I
I
feel like,
mean, what have you learned so far?
you
Like
know,
just one or two.
I learned I learned that nothing is as straightforward as it seems.
Mm.
And you need to have a lot of determination and self-faith to reach your goals, to create something beautiful, something valuable. It does require daily input, and I mean daily, including the weekends.
Mm.
And you have to be very passionate about what you do, but also do not be afraid to ask for help, or talk to a stranger, talk to people, make a questionnaire. The more you communicate with your target market or wider audience, the more you can learn from your feedback. And I think continuous learning, which is freely available online these days, there are various platforms where world-class universities offer absolutely free courses that you do at your own pace. It's out there, and I just highly recommend to get as much learning as you can, especially when you're young, because it's really the best thing you can do for yourself.
No, that's the best answer. Trust me. Because if you don't have money to pay for courses and stuff like that, there are, like you
Yeah,
said, there are a lot of different free courses
yeah.
dedicated to, the certain brand or industry that you want to be a part of, which is incredible. And I don't think a lot of people were this lucky, before the internet existed.
Yes, yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
and you could even do it from the comfort of your own home, which is amazing.
I
Um,
agree.
like, do you have any additional informations you want to add, whether that's about jewelry, crystals, your business?
Oh, I think we had a great chat. I don't know what else I can add. Really thankful for taking part in this podcast. It's great to see you, and it's great to see you smiling and trying on something new. And I think, again, it takes so much courage to actually reach out to founders and make them do these podcasts. But I feel like it works really both ways, and
Yeah.
I'm just feeling incredibly happy to have this call today. So thank you.
No, definitely. I mean, it's been a while. I think the last time I saw you was just around August,
Yeah.
maybe
Well, no, it was before. I think it was June. Probably we met
at
on
the
Charlotte
Charlotte
Tilbury, but
Tilbury
then we
thing.
met, I think we met again after,
Hmm.
like really, really quickly. And I don't know what
Yeah.
that where
Oh, the
where that
Amazon.
was.
Have you gone to the Amazon workshop they had?
Probably yes. Probably
Yeah,
yes.
I think that was the last workshop that I went to because everything else was just more like becoming repetitive.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Um, so where can people find you? What to shop for your amazing jewelry, connect with you.
So we do have a website and it's petitesaline.com or Instagram, which is Petite Saline London.
Oh, okay. That's
So
amazing.
these are the two things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will link them down below so people could click on the
Thank
links.
you.
It's amazing talking to you. And hopefully we can do something together in the future, whether that's another podcast or other creative stuff for both of our brands.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, and you know what? I'm just happy that I've met other founders because it empowers me. I don't know how you feel, but like there's empowerment behind when you meet other female,
Yes.
entrepreneurs that are doing their own stuff, which is incredible.
I completely agree. I enjoyed meeting women, and I feel like women always leave the biggest impression on me after event because I feel like they almost have to work twice as hard as men to actually stand out and have that confidence that you're capable of building a business. I feel like still we women have to put a little bit more effort into things. But then I just love to have those chats whenever we have any workshops or various events. And I feel like I would, if I was at the management of Princess Trust, I would make them on like a monthly basis, compulsory events.
Yes. Oh, that would be absolutely amazing. Just not even like the ones that they're currently doing, which those are absolutely amazing and all, but just having founders in the same room and
and having maybe like a
like
speaker.
creative sessions type of thing, which is one of my favorite things when I'm doing my photography, just having a strategy discussions and really just empowering each other. Like that would be absolutely amazing. Next time I speak with Helen, I might recommend it to her.
Yes, yeah. Well, she's very social, so I think she'll be up for it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you again. That was like perfectly for 30 minutes chat.
Yeah, wow, it's been 30 minutes. I feel like we were talking for longer because I really enjoyed it. And at the same time, it feels like it just passed in 5 minutes.
It does. Now hopefully we'll do something like this again. And hopefully I will see you in person sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like I will link everything down below. So people can find you, can message you, could order from you. And I will highly recommend because her jewelry is absolutely amazing. Like,
it's beautiful.
You put so much work into it. I see your Instagram stories. You're constantly posting, you're constantly making new pieces. And it's just amazing.
Thank you so much. And a question for you, where will I be able to see this podcast or maybe other podcasts? Are you planning to create a website or is it, what's your platform? What's your vision for the platform?
That's a really good question. The podcast will be on Spotify and anywhere else people would get their podcast from. So Apple, Google.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
I don't think I want to have a website for it because I already have a website for my photography. Then it will be too much to have so many different websites. I do have a personal Instagram, which I will link it to the this podcast. So
yeah,
so the podcast hopefully will be coming out around like the end of sometime in the beginning of next year.
Excellent. Well, I think this is really good, and I often listen to podcasts on Spotify, and I always listen to music on Spotify every single day. So I'll definitely sign up, subscribe.
Definitely. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It will definitely be on there. I think this main app that I'm using to record the podcast automatically is linked to Spotify. So it's highly recommended for people to use Spotify, and I would highly recommend for people to use Spotify. But either way, Apple, Google, or anywhere else, they will find it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much again, Annie. It's a pleasure, and
you too.
Let's keep in touch, and I really hope to see you as well.
In
definitely. Person next time.
In person. Oh, definitely. I want to record. I have so many plans for it, but I just don't want to jinx it. So
yeah.
I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you so much to Kate for this amazing talk and rundown of her business. I really appreciate it. It was such a insightful journey, and I would really love to know more about her business. And hopefully, like I said, we will have more in-depth conversation when we get a time together. Don't forget to go check out her pieces. They are absolutely incredible and beautiful and colorful, and I don't know what else to say. Like, they're just so beautiful. So go give a check out. Order yourself a custom piece maybe, or buy some of the ones that she's already have on her site. And thank you again, Kate, and hopefully we can have you again soon on the pod. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. This episode was such a very calm and peaceful conversation, and I really love that. I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.